Hi, welcome back to my channel. This book review is for The Boyfriend by Kerry Wilkinson, and I have read quite a few of his books. I think his books are really, really good. They're always intriguing. I'm just looking at Goodreads to kind of get an idea about how many of his books I have read. 3 here. Okay, I've read 4. So there's a lot of his books that I haven't read, but I'm just curious. I was just curious, so I thought I would chat. So what is The Boyfriend about? Well, we have Jody, and her father has recently died, and she is going through his belongings and trying to sort out the house that was left to her. When she's up in the attic, one of the things that she sees shocks her to her very core. It's a t-shirt. A t-shirt that belonged to her boyfriend, Ben, from 20 years previous. Now, how does she know that this is Ben's t-shirt, her boyfriend from when she was a teenager? Well, their last parting was heartbreaking to her, and it's forever imprinted on her brain. So she immediately recognizes his t-shirt. But here's the rub. Ben was murdered 20 years previously. In fact, there was a man that was served a prison term for that murder. But the t-shirt that Ben had on the last time Jody saw him is in her father's attic. So what's the connection here? Was the man that was in prison actually innocent? Was her father involved in the murder of Ben? Then you have to consider other things that Jody is going through. Her doubts and her grief regarding Ben and his murder, her curiosity and her concern about her father and whether he was involved in Ben's murder. She has a difficult relationship with her brother because her father left everything to her but nothing to her brother. Even her brother's wife gets in her face at some point. And she has a son named Owen, and they have a very difficult relationship. And the last thing is, somebody's following her. So her hands are full, her plate is full. So the thing about Jody's father is I'm pretty sure he was the mayor, but he was every man for every person. He was very, very, very well loved, very well respected. And now she might have to burst that bubble because she doesn't want to ruin his image. But it doesn't mean that she's going to just fold the t-shirt back up and put it back in the corner in the attic and go on about business. No. She does much more than that. She starts looking for answers. And while she's looking for these answers, she's very introspective. And with her being so introspective, it makes this book by Kerry Wilkinson a character-driven story because you get to see her thoughts, her ideas, her feelings, her emotions, even her relationships with people that are in her life. And you get to see all of that from her point of view. Now, when you have like I mentioned, a character-driven story, especially like in a book that is a psychological thriller, you look for a lot of tenseness, a lot of, I wouldn't say curiosity, but a lot of deep-seated angst as to what is actually going on. So I would kind of say this is more of a mystery thriller than a psychological thriller. That's what I'm trying to get to. But it was a really, really good read. despite my confusion on what the genre could be. Because you really have to look at 20 years before, reconcile it with right now, all while Jodie is dealing with grief over the loss of her father. So if she's dealing with grief and now she's dealing with doubts, then she's also dealing with mixed feelings. And then the book, not only did the book take on certain twists and turns, which is every mystery, every psychological thriller, there was a heartbreaking tragedy in this book, which made the ending very difficult. So, do we find the answer to who killed Ben? Does Jodie come to peace about Ben's loss? And what happens to Jodie as these answers start to make themselves apparent? All worthy of thinking about. All something that makes me want to recommend this book, The Boyfriend, to you. By the way, this is a Bookouture publication I got from NetGalley, so I want to thank Bookouture and NetGalley. You can get it at the Kindle store for $3.99. This is not on Kindle Unlimited, but it is available. And look at that cover. Look at that cover. That cover is done very well. And it took me 3 or 4 times of looking at that cover to get the gist of what this book entails. So I just thought I'd throw that in. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.